Hey everybody, Merry Christmas.
That's a good way to start it.
From our family to yours, may this be an amazing day. May it be a day filled with joy. May it be a day filled with pie and with family and most of all with the love and grace of Jesus. He has been born and He is here for us all.
Yep. It's a good day.
You said that last night.
It is Christmas Eve, Christmas. It's a good day. You get to have hope.
Yep, having hope. Today's day 34 on our 40-day video journey of taking back our life. 40 days of thinking right so that we can live right. That was a long way around the bend.
Yep.
Today we're talking about taking 2 steps to the left. And if you read today's reading already, you read about Pastor walking down a path and realizing he was in the middle of a minefield of goose poop. And he was so concentrated on trying to get through that because he didn't want it to get the best of him that he missed the clear path that was just 2 steps to the left.
Well, he missed it for one way, but not the other.
Yeah, I mean, he went all the way through, and when he turned around, he went, oh, if I would have just looked up, I would have seen a much clearer path just a few steps away. Mm-hmm. We do that in our personal relationships all the time. We do that with our spouses. We do it with our kids. We do it with friends. We do it with situations that we find ourselves in. We end up working so hard to try and make this path work that we lose sight.
Well, and how often do we go around in life like this right here? You're just right there looking at what's the next thing on this device instead of what's going on all around right here. And it doesn't really matter what the focus is whenever we become distracted. It is something other than seeking what God wants you to do. Whenever you're seeking what God wants you to do, he talks in the questions about the rumble strip. You'll start to feel that rumble strip and say, oh, I should stop playing Candy Crush, or I should stop doing this or that. But whenever you're so consumed with whatever it is, whether it's your phone or whether it is doing the next thing that's right in front of you, you don't feel or hear that rumble strip. And whenever we were talking about this with the kids, it was awesome because Jaden said, that scene in Lightning McQueen where Mac falls asleep and he hits the rumble strip and he wakes up. And then he comes back over, and then he comes back, and he hits the rumble strip again, and he just keeps driving on the rumble strip, and Lightning McQueen falls out the back. That's how it feels whenever you're just deciding, this is just how it's going to be. This is as good as it gets. This is what we're going to do, and God has so much more than for you to just stay on that rumble strip.
When we think about the story that Pastor had in today's reading of Zerubbabel building the temple or rebuilding the temple, they labored for 7 years.
Was it 7 or 9?
It was 7, I believe. And, oh no, 9. You're right, 9. 9 years, almost a decade. And then they got very discouraged because they were trying to do what God said they needed to do, and it just wasn't going anywhere until Zechariah, the prophet, had a word from God that God was saying, look, I'm going to build the temple through these guys. It doesn't matter how hard they work, it's going to be through me. And we run into that with, again, in our personal relationships. If we have our head down and we're so focused on trying to make the path work, if we have our head down in our phone trying to either ease the pain or numb the situation or remove ourselves emotionally or whatever you're doing it for, then God doesn't have the opportunity to work if we're not
available. That's the best way to put it. Available.
Yeah. I'm glad you finished that because my mind went completely blank.
I mean, whenever you're occupied, whenever you're consumed with something else, you're not available for whatever it is that God has for you to do. That's a bad place to be. You wonder, why are things like this? Why are we not having any change? Why are we not seeing any progress? Well, because you're not available for those things to happen.
God does not work with a megaphone. He never has. He's never been, the type that shouts his direction. He always comes in a still small voice. He comes through meditation and being quiet. And, in the Old Testament, he came through dreams a lot. He spoke through his dreams. And so whenever we are totally consumed, totally trying to force something to happen, it's easy to miss that still small voice. And so we do have to be available. When we're available, God will often reveal what it is that he wants us to do. And he is going to equip us. He's going to provide everything that we need in order to accomplish that mission. We talked about this earlier in the book, and it's come up again today, and that is that obedience and what God calls you to do is the first step. He's not going to always show you what's coming. He's not going to show you every single step. But what he's looking for is obedience, and to make that choice to say, okay, God, it's not by my might. There's nothing I can do here. No matter how hard I try in this situation, it's not going to change. The only thing that will change is by your will and by what it is that you want done. So I can stop freaking out. I can stop trying so hard to miss the geese poop, and I can take 2 steps to the left and let you show me where to go and what to do. So that's what I take from it.
Yeah, and today, Pastor goes back and he says that it is obedience and that it doesn't have to make sense for you at this point. And I think back to whenever we were on that first several days of the lens, the faith lens, that you don't necessarily understand it as you're going through. You're like, okay, I'm doing what you told me to do. He's looking for you to put on that faith lens and see what it is that he is doing. And that's usually only available to you in hindsight. So if you never do the steps, if you're never obedient, you never get to see what it became. So whenever you do the steps and you're obedient, then you get the joy of being able to look back and go, this is where this happened and that and this and this. And it all added up to this amazing thing.
So the takeaway from today is not being so consumed on what it is that you're struggling to make happen, that you're struggling to push forward through. The focus for today is to say, okay, God, you have to do it. I'm going to take 2 steps to the left. I'm going to give up control, and I'm going to let you do it and see where it goes.
Day 34, Merry Christmas.
Day 34, Merry Christmas. That's our day for today. 2 steps to the left and see what God can do. You guys have an amazing Christmas. Spend it with your family. Enjoy the day. I hope you get lots of great gifts, and we will see you tomorrow on day 35. Have a great day. Merry Christmas.